Hello, everyone. I'm not sure he likes doing that, only with watermelons. What would you toss into his mouth to test it out? Watching buildings crumble into dust has a strangely calming effect. Give it a try.
What? My. Wow. So I grew up in Michigan and they.
Holy cow. There's a bear right here face to face with me.
Get out of there! What the? Whoa! You fake. Holy Jesus Christ! Were you sleeping?
No. What?
It seems like she's got more than just reflexes. It's almost like a real spider sense. Photosynthesis is now just a dream for this tree. As a lightning strike has turned it into a real furnace. Someone boasts that their dog follows commands, but the owner of this bulldog takes the cake. His dog actually follows the air traffic controller's instructions. It may look like AI turned a mop into a dog, but in fact, it's a real one. Workers at underwater research stations must sometimes feel like they're on another planet. What would you name this thing? This car used to belong to poachers, and perhaps the worst punishment for them would be having to watch this video. Looks like parking violation won't be the pilot's only problem.
Cables look pretty tight now. Oh!
The firefighters decided to use a model to illustrate how homes burn.
And that may happen. Because you're going to have a lot more BTUs. See that? I'm noticing down there. This is rolling in.
It's an effective visual example.
Backdraft.
Thanks, son. Woo!
That works.
I wish they'd invent a time machine soon so we could send this thing back to the past and see how people react. It's probably not the real production process, but it still looks pretty mesmerizing. It's not the safest show, but it's incredibly impressive.
Shot one. Little Maypole wall. How's that for you?
Радуга. Осындай кемпір қосақ біздің қонақтарды күтіп алды. 7 күндік.
So, it actually has a beginning. Let me proudly present to you the world's one and only little cat dog. Don't worry, man. You've already picked up the camera, so it won't do anything to you now. In Slovenia, people understand the importance of emergency services, so as soon as they hear sirens, drivers quickly create a clear path to help responders reach those in need in time. Kudos to them. The guy who filmed the video managed to get up close to the breathtaking sight of a murmuration, where a huge flock of birds moves in perfect harmony.
Ooh.
This wildfire in China looks like something is taking over the world. Japan is a seismically active region, so it has adapted to frequent earthquakes with advanced technology. It might look like this bridge is barely holding on, but actually, it's equipped with a damping system that allows it to withstand tremors. Now, this guy's bike could be classified as climbing gear. Someone should tell these guys that they could actually use construction equipment. She wanted to be closer to nature, but she didn't expect to be quite this close. When people say that the wealthy have their fancies, they really mean these kinds of fancies.
Info Pamekasan saat ini airnya menjadi merah seperti ini di Sungai Kelampar, layaknya seperti anggur merah tuh. Dan ini sudah nyampe di kota ya Pamekasan, alirannya dari Dam Kelampar.
Flooding has transformed the highway into a water park, but there's not much fun to be had. That moment when you decide to get a houseplant and promise yourself you'll take good care of it. This device uses ultraviolet light to disinfect smartphone surfaces. Hopefully it returns them in 100% of cases. It looks impressive, but can you imagine the job of the person who had to check the air pressure in every single tire?
Olha aí. Vai, vai.
Isso é o gás natural, tá? Gás natural, ó.
What's the most unusual thing you've seen at work? The guy who filmed this video managed to capture the birth of a tornado.
Vambora, que nós gostamos de trem radical, né não?
Now,
Olha que
imagine the
vem.
face of a hitchhiker asking them for a ride into town.
Olha o jeito que nós tá. Meu Deus do céu, Maria José.
When the machines revolt, he will be the #1 target.
3万块钱的手电是什么样的？我去！我去！
Why did they stop? Maybe they ran out of gas? It seems like nature played a prank on the residents of this Chinese town, and I bet the meteorologists were the most stunned. This is what I call true creative chaos. Finally, laziness can be turned into art. This elevator is definitely not for beginners.
"好，然后后边那个再往前来一点。好，后边的小朋友可以蹲下。对，然后你
The future has already arrived, and we didn't even notice it. Today's a lucky day for car wash owners in this city. That's why an underground parking garage is the worst place to park your car during a flood. This room has magically turned into a giant pinhole camera. It's incredible that this kind of projection doesn't require any technology, which means that it could have been shown even in the Middle Ages. If you believe this kind of thing only exists in films, you were completely wrong. This tree was unlucky enough to become a breeding ground for harmful aphids. With hotel prices these days, you might as well get a suitcase and sleep in it. Hello everyone. Landslides in the Himalayas, chaotic streets of Vietnam, and an abandoned bridge deep in Siberian forests. Today, we'll explore some of the most bizarre and unusual roads in the world. It's going to be thrilling and maybe a little scary. Buckle up, let's get it on. You need nerves of steel to tackle such a challenge. We are in the Siberian forests on the Kwandinsky Bridge, which crosses the Vitim River. Despite being used by locals and truckers for vehicle traffic, the bridge is notoriously dangerous due to its unstable structure and absence of guardrails. Typically, a guide leads the way to help drivers. To minimize wind resistance, the vehicle's windows are always rolled down. It's a dangerously thrilling experience. And to make matters worse, driving on the Kwandinsky Bridge is officially banned. The Atabad Lake project is an impressive engineering accomplishment, featuring a network of 5 tunnels that link China and Pakistan. These tunnels, built at 2,500 meters above sea level and extending about 7 kilometers, came with a hefty price tag of $275 million. The project was a response to a massive landslide in January 2010, which blocked the Hunza River and formed a new lake that flooded a section of the Karakoram Highway. The tunnels were built to provide an alternative route around the flooded area. Check out these scenes to understand the scale of the landslides in this region. Massive amounts of rock can not only wreck parts of the road, but also reshape the landscape. Camino a los Yungas is a road in Bolivia that connects the cities of La Paz and Coroico, but is more widely known as the Death Road. This grim nickname is well deserved. In the past, dozens and sometimes even hundreds of people have died here each year. Stretching just over 50 kilometers, the road climbs to an elevation of 4,650 meters at the La Cumbre Pass, before descending to 1,200 meters, winding its way down steep slopes. The road here is no more than 3 meters wide, with no guardrails and a sheer drop below. There's hardly any asphalt either, just clay and dirt. The biggest danger is during the rainy season when visibility is poor and the water constantly erodes the road surface. The Karnali Highway in Nepal is considered one of the most dangerous roads in the world. In the spring, when the snow melts in the mountains, and during the monsoon rains, long sections of the road turn into muddy channels where hundreds of vehicles get stuck. Sometimes, water can have even more dramatic effects. In this case, a mountain river changed its course due to a landslide, creating a spontaneous waterfall that cascades into a deep ravine right along the road. The Karnali Highway is famous not just for its unpredictable weather. Many sections of the road are very narrow, with a steep drop on one side and sheer cliffs on the other, always threatening landslides. Unsurprisingly, official reports state that 85% of the Karnali Highway is considered unsafe for travelers. Statistics reveal that each year, several dozen people become victims of this perilous road. It's not only the natural conditions that make roads extremely difficult. Just take a look at this scene. It's an ordinary day in Ho Chi Minh City, the biggest city in Vietnam. With a population of around 9 million people that keeps growing, traffic congestion is one of the city's biggest problems. The widespread use of motor scooters, which almost everyone has, only makes it worse. Sometimes there are even calls to outright ban scooters in the city.
Let me show you how organized it is in Vietnam.
Have you heard about the Japanese Alps? There are actually 3 mountain ranges located in central Honshu Island. Among them is the famous Ontake volcano, a popular pilgrimage site. There's also the Tateyama Snow Corridor, a spectacular scenic route between the towns of Tateyama and Omachi. The 90-kilometer route opens in April. And the snow walls along the way can rise to 15 to 20 meters high. This corridor is also called the Roof of Japan, with elevation starting at 7 meters and reaching up to 2,400 meters above sea level. Watch out, these images might blow your mind and change your entire perspective on traffic jams. This road in China looks like a nightmarish 50-lane highway, but it's actually just a 4-lane road that expands near the toll booths. The massive traffic jam near the city of Zhuzhou is due to the huge number of people traveling for the national holidays. Millions of people hit the road at once, causing this major traffic jam. The Dalton Highway in Alaska is the northernmost stretch of the Pan American Highway and the most desolate. It ends right at the edge of the Arctic Ocean. This road passes through truly wild areas. Along its 666-kilometer length, there are only 3 small towns and 3 gas stations. The road surface alternates between asphalt and gravel, with ice and snow often obstructing it from fall to spring. Despite the lack of treacherous cliffs or sharp turns, the highway often makes it onto lists of the most dangerous roads in the world. This is due to Alaska's harsh climate, where storms and snowstorms are common. In spring, when the ice melts, certain stretches of the highway can turn into rivers. While some roads face dangers like ice or rock falls, in Thailand, drivers sometimes have to deal with elephants. When a family of elephants crosses a busy highway near Bangkok, people have no choice but to stop traffic and let them pass. You have to admit, this winding road in the Eastern Alps looks more like a ride at an amusement park than a real road. Welcome to the Stelvio Pass, located on the border between Italy and Switzerland at an elevation of 2,757 meters. The 47-kilometer stretch features 75 sharp turns, a real challenge for even the most experienced drivers. You've never seen a railroad quite like this. This is Mae Klong, a market on rails located in Bangkok, Thailand's capital. It's been around for nearly a century, starting when vendors refused to move their historic trading spot during railway construction. Now, their stalls are literally on the tracks. Trains pass through here quite often, about 8 times a day. Each time, vendors follow a precise routine. They fold up their awnings and move their goods to spots where they won't be hit by the passing trains. The precision is incredible. Everything is calculated to the exact millimeter.
Superstar.
This tunnel could trigger a claustrophobic attack. It's no wonder it's called the Needle's Eye. It's part of the Iron Mountain Road on the Black Hills Range in South Dakota. Stretching over 17 miles, it features 314 curves, 14 switchbacks, and 3 tunnels. Just look at how confidently this bus driver navigates through a tunnel that's less than 2.5 meters wide. The winding road of Iron Mountain was built back in 1933, despite engineers claiming it was impossible. It's a fantastic spot for tourism, provided you're prepared for a careful, leisurely drive. This phenomenal road is located in the Kunlun mountain range in the northwest of China. Known as Panlong, or the Heavenly Road of the Pamirs, this road might look breathtaking from above, resembling a dragon's tail. However, drivers and tourists have dubbed it the Road Hell, and it's easy to see why. Over 75 kilometers, and there are more than 6,000 twists and turns, many of them sharp, 180 degrees and even some 270 degrees. It's a serious test for your sense of balance. Imagine the thrill of riding a motorcycle straight into dark and mysterious caves. You can have this extraordinary adventure in Thailand, around the Tong Pha Phum National Park. Old cave mines that used to be sites for lead ore extraction have been transformed into tourist trails. You can experience the unique ambiance of these subterranean mines while staying on your bike and see stalactites and stalagmites forming up close. No, this isn't CGI. It's actual footage of the Ashima Ohashi Bridge in Japan, crossing the lagoon Lake Nakaomi near Matsui. In the video, it looks like an impossible Escher-like structure, making driving onto it seem like utter madness. In reality, though, it's not as scary as it seems. This remarkably long bridge, stretching 1.7 kilometers, isn't a sheer cliff, but rather features a quite manageable incline of just 6%. However, its unique design and certain perspectives create a stunning optical illusion that's made the Ashima Ohashi Bridge famous worldwide. The Million Dollar Highway is a 40-kilometer stretch of Route 550 in western Colorado, between the towns of Ori and Silverton. This two-lane mountain road offers breathtaking natural scenery, but enjoying the views requires excellent driving skills. The road is challenging and potentially dangerous, with steep cliffs, narrow lanes without guardrails, and dizzying S-turns. Additional risks include landslides and wildlife that might appear right on the road. This road is definitely not for beginners or nervous drivers. Around 40 accidents happen here each year. Sometimes drivers just stop in the middle of the highway and can't muster the courage to continue. In the snowy season, which starts in October, the road becomes even more challenging. You'll need snow chains for your tires during this time. Would you dare to drive this route just to admire the snow-capped peaks of the Rocky Mountains? Let's head to Harderwijk in the Netherlands, where there's a traffic interchange that might shock any driver. Imagine driving along a highway and seeing an actual riverboat floating overhead. This incredible structure is the Veluwe Meer Aqueduct, which spans 25 meters in width. It connects two artificial lakes and separates mainland Netherlands from the artificial island of Flevopolder. The aqueduct allows small vessels to pass through easily, while the tunnel manages to handle 30,000 cars each day. Tourists remember this place for a lifetime. "99 Bend Road in China is arguably the most fascinating mountain road on the planet. Located in the northwest of the Hunan province, it winds its way up Tianmen Mountain, where you'll find a grand Buddhist temple and the famous Heaven's Gate Cave. This winding road is about 11 kilometers long and features exactly 99 turns, a number chosen for its association with the 9 heavenly places in Taoism. The incredibly scenic highway can be quite dangerous to drive though. For instance, there are no high guardrails, therefore it's only open to tour buses and professional drivers. This engineering marvel can be described as both a massive bridge and a floating road. Known as the Shiziguan Floating Bridge, it was built in China right over the Qianjiang River. The 400-meter-long bridge is made from polyethylene floats filled with water. Those daring enough to drive across it will be greeted by stunning tropical scenery and a gentle sway on the water. Just make sure to keep your speed under 20 kilometers per hour. The Atlantic Road in Norway is only 8 kilometers long, but it's world-renowned for its stunning design and breathtaking views. This stretch of 2-lane highway connects the cities of Molde and Kristiansund through a series of small islands separated by the Atlantic Ocean. It features 7 bridges, totaling 891 meters in length. The longest and highest of these is the Storseisundet Bridge. It juts out 23 meters over the ocean and has been nicknamed the Drunk Bridge because its dramatic curve can make some viewers feel dizzy just looking at it. Driving along the Atlantic Road is a real adventure, especially since there are panoramic viewpoints on the bridges. Sometimes traveling along this highway can give you goosebumps. When the ocean is stormy, the atmosphere here can be pretty eerie. The Passage du Gois Road near the commune of Beauvoir-sur-Mer is a famous French national landmark. What makes it special is that it connects the island of Noirmoutier to the mainland by crossing the Bay of Bourgneuf's seabed, a part of the Atlantic Ocean. This unusual feature is due to the unique geological formation of the seabed. The collision of 2 oceans currently creates high sandbanks on a rocky base. Over the centuries, the road across the ocean became increasingly more solid as the height of the sandbanks continued to rise. In the 20th century, the road was paved with cobblestones and later asphalted. For most of the day, the road is underwater to a depth of 1.5 to 4 meters, making it accessible only twice daily during low tide. This mountain road in China's Henan province looks incredible, but what really stands out is the story of how it was built. The entire stretch of road through the rock, including a 1.2-kilometer tunnel that's 5 meters high, was carved out by hands of the villagers of Guoliang. The village, nestled in a valley surrounded by high mountains and cut off from the outside world, saw 13 villagers take on this ambitious task in the 1970s. They spent several years working with little more than hammers and chisels to complete it. The road is hardly what you'd call modern and safe. There's no barrier between the roadway and the drop, and during the rainy season, accidents are common. This magical highway interchange is located near the town of Oyamazaki in Kyoto Prefecture, Japan. It's a true masterpiece of modern road architecture, where 2 expressways and a bypass intersect. In addition to the elegant loops, there are 9 bridges standing side by side. A marvel of engineering, the 7-mile bridge is part of the Overseas Highway, connecting the islands of the Florida Keys. Spanning more than 10 kilometers, the bridge provides stunning ocean vistas as you drive along. But when a tropical storm hits, the experience can turn into a horror show, particularly if you come across a menacing waterspout. This road in Norway, known as the Troll's Path in English, certainly lives up to its name. Though the views are stunning, traveling here is far from comfortable. The road is narrow, and the cliffs and landslides make the drive quite challenging. For most of the year, it's closed because ice and snow turn the highway into a dangerous trap. Perhaps the best way to take in the local beauty is from the air. A heavy fuel truck travels across the clear blue ice. This is a sight you can only see here on the Tibet-Kongtoito Ice Road in Canada. This unique route was designed as a supply route for diamond and gold mines in the Northwest Territories. It's probably the longest ice road in the world for transporting heavy cargo. The winter road stretches over 600 kilometers and traverses frozen lakes with ice more than a meter thick, ensuring smooth traffic. During the season, up to 90,000 tons of cargo are transported along it. However, weather conditions can be challenging. Winter storms and snowdrifts can impair travel and force drivers to use all their skills to keep their trucks under control. The Magic Roundabout is a crazy traffic interchange in the English town of Swindon. At first glance, it might look like a nightmare for novice drivers. Despite its seemingly complex design, the system has proven to be effective over the past 50 years, even with the significant increase in traffic. The Magic Roundabout consists of 5 separate roundabouts, all circulating clockwise, surrounding a central ring that directs traffic counterclockwise. Each outer roundabout manages traffic entering and exiting from its respective road. From above, it looks like an amazing example of controlled chaos. Hello everyone. What's the wildest thing you've ever come across on the road? I bet you haven't seen this guy. I doubt the roof of your convertible ever flew off, or that you've driven side by side with a rhino. But you're about to witness even crazier stuff, because this is a compilation of the most insane things that have happened on the road. Let's get it on. It won't be easy for car owners to explain the situation to their insurance companies. It turns out that cars do have ejector seat buttons after all. The driver was so shocked that he even forgot where he was headed in the first place.
It's rhino, Dabu.
Yeah, it's a rhino, I know. Now keep him on goal.
At one point, this rhinoceros was a regular part of the traffic scene. Unfortunately, he's not very skilled yet. His driving is erratic and he doesn't even use his turn signals.
I have no intention of crossing because Mohotia Depot. Wow.
超车的。
This pal here is living his best life.
¡La pila! ¡La pila!
He's gonna take a short break and then catch up with him. Traffic jams in Wyoming can sometimes look like this.
Tell us to get in and then you...
They might be wondering where their plan went off track. I'm curious what they're arguing about. A barking spot?
Volkswagen, das Auto.
Кот в машине.
Да ну?
Да.
Да ну?
Ой, тормознули. Смотри, реально кот выходит.
Да ну?
Офигеть можно.
It looks like the only time this driver ever got behind the wheel of a truck was in GTA. I don't know who they are or why they're doing this, but the driver's probably a Shaolin monk.
Going? Yes. So we're on the crookedest street in San Francisco, allegedly. Someone has just hit a fire hydrant or water valve of some kind.
The car owner won't need to visit the car wash anytime soon. Well, he won't be able to get into the car for a while either. The poor guy experienced firsthand what it means to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I get it. Sometimes it's really hard to find a parking spot. What do you even know about driver solidarity? Here's why you shouldn't always rely on GPS directions. And the Driver of the Year award goes to...
没有，我老公刚上去的。这个车子怎么回事？这个车子啊？
someone else. This guy still has a long way to go.
不能熄火吗？
The cyclist had to put all their riding skills to the test to avoid a crash. Well done.
Look out the window, Caroline.
It's a big question how this actually happened. It looks like the trailer tried to tip over the sign but gave up halfway. What do you think this car owner might have done wrong to end up like this? Karma didn't waste any time. It looks like Batman changed his style and then parked in the wrong place. What do you think his feed consumption is per 100 kilometers? Looks like he got his driver's license from a circus school. How cute! So tiny and already about to get his first ticket. That moment when you've taken on too many tasks and now you're racing against the deadline. This road must have been designed to drive autonomous cars crazy. Anyone who's seen Final Destination will feel uneasy on this road. To become the captain of this beauty, you'll first need to master the basics of piloting a space cruiser. The world's first eco-friendly truck.
Dear God.
Oh no.
I just...
Okay, there's
The most surprising video endings of all time.
over there.
Does this count as 1 or 2 passengers? This is the downside of hitchhiking. You never know when someone might turn you over to the local police. He must be going to the insurance company to explain how everything happened. It's a 10 out of 10 risk, but he'll save on fuel. Traffic jams can happen for all sorts of reasons, but this one surely ranks among the most unusual. A fierce storm in Vietnam has made life difficult for the local scooter riders. In Jakarta, a group of sheep somehow wandered onto a toll road. I really doubt they paid the fare. I hope they've closed off the road ahead to catch these trespassers. Maybe someone should tell him. When the ship sinks, the captain goes down with it. Just because something's handmade doesn't mean it's well made. This road looks like it was built without proper equipment. The car owner must really love the Flintstones, considering he chose to drive a vehicle just like the one from the show. Finding your car in a massive parking lot can be tough, but this is a whole different level of difficulty. The following scenes are not for the faint of heart. From a distance, wind turbines don't seem that big, but just imagine, that's only one of the blades.
请问新疆的交警们，你们怎么看待这个问题呢？30迈的速度，一个车占2个道，然后
It's during these times on the road that you can ponder the deeper things in life and enjoy an audiobook. Would you pick up hitchhikers like those? When you always wanted a convertible but can't afford a new car. Segways and hoverboards never really took off as city transport options, but perhaps it's worth giving this engineering wonder a shot. Would you like to take one for a spin? Here's an unusual runway at Sydney Airport. Would you feel comfortable driving there knowing a plane is flying directly overhead? one wobbly wheel on the shopping cart. Hello everyone. This video will completely change the way you see aviation. Welcome aboard. Collisions can happen not just on roadways. This particular incident happened at the start of an aerial race due to the carelessness of the air traffic controllers and signalers. Just imagine if a plane like this flew over your house, making all the windows shake. Lucky are those who know that it's just part of an air show.
To the gate, into the gate, you come a lot closer to the fence too, man. That guy there is kind of crazy.
San Martino no es caro. Yo estuve en St. Kitts, que más o menos lo mismo. Sí, es claro, yo estuve 5 años.
Parce qu'elle sent comme ça.
The guy who filmed this video captured a rare moment. Lightning struck a flying airplane. Statistically, such an event happens only once every 3,000 flight hours. A stunningly graceful move for a 100-ton giant. A truly frightening incident occurred at Kaohsiung International Airport in Taiwan when the right engine of an Airbus A330 exploded during takeoff. Fortunately, the pilots were true professionals and skillfully brought the aircraft to a stop. As the Hercules takes off, the spinning propellers generate a zone of high pressure, which leads to visible swirling vortices. The Gustav III Airport on one of the Caribbean islands is known for being one of the most challenging airports to land at in the world. Its runway is perpendicular to the coastline and extends right onto the beach. The approach for landing is extremely steep and demands a high level of piloting skill, but the view is absolutely breathtaking, especially from the pilot's seat. The pilots decided to film a routine landing, but suddenly heard an alarm. It turned out that, for some reason, the landing gear hadn't deployed. The landing was quite rough, but luckily the pilots weren't hurt. The plane, however, took serious damage and won't be ready to fly anytime soon. Quick reactions are essential in the air. The paramotor pilot barely had a chance to be scared before a plane suddenly appeared right in front of him. When pilots are so skilled, even landing gear turns into water skis. This is what taking off from a dirt runway in bad weather looks like, an extreme test for pilots. There isn't a challenge that this helicopter can't handle. In this case, it's being used for emergency water delivery with a water dumping device. These guys are standing right next to the jet engine, completely unfazed by the deafening noise and temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Celsius. They're just doing their job, running afterburner tests on an F-16 fighter's new engine. This pilot's maneuvers send shivers down my spine. His spin is so crazy, it's almost like a free fall. Talk about an inflated ego. This SUV driver is so confident he thinks even planes should give way to him. Flying at extremely low speeds is one of the pinnacles of aviation skill. Even experienced pilots can struggle when the wind suddenly shifts in strength or direction. Impressive coordination of group flights during military exercises. And this is what in-flight refueling looks like from a Boeing Stratotanker. A transport aircraft from the Australian Air Force is making its way through the bustling city of Brisbane, home to 2 million people. This flight is part of an annual air show, reserved for the most qualified and seasoned pilots. An absolutely mind-blowing stunt. A helicopter doing a loop. An extreme stunt pilot flies the German MBB BO-105, the first helicopter ever designed to perform high-level aerobatic stunts. Special Forces pilots are in a league of their own. A heavy-lift Chinook delivers a race car directly to the track in Texas. Another achievement to add to the list of feats for this legendary helicopter. This firefighting plane is working on extinguishing a forest fire in Croatia, executing impressive maneuvers at extremely low altitudes. As you've seen in the video, helicopters are incredibly versatile machines that can even pop open a beer bottle. Firing signal flares can be even more thrilling than fireworks. The remarkable Super Guppy was developed in the 1960s specifically for NASA's needs. Only 5 of these planes were ever built, and one of them is still in use, delivering components for the ISS. This is how the unusual plane is loaded, with its cargo bay reaching over 30 meters in height. These vortices are rotating air structures created by the blades as they generate lift. They're easiest to spot in very humid air. For centuries, humanity dreamed of flying. How lucky we are to live in an age when it has become a reality. This isn't the latest aviation technology, it's a natural disaster. Heavy rains in Dubai have turned the runway into a real lake. The record-setting flyover over the Kansas City Stadium features a world-high number of 49 Vans RV planes flying together. When there's no river nearby, an old trusty pickup truck will always come to the rescue.
There is no battlefield Raptor will not dominate.
A spin is usually a critical flight condition, but not for the Raptor fighter. Its pilot just enjoys defying the laws of physics. A key feature for a firefighting plane is the ability to rapidly scoop up water. This super scooper can fill its tanks with 6 tons of water in mere seconds. Just watching this video gets your adrenaline pumping. Imagine what the pilot must be feeling. This light aircraft is doing a great job of cosplaying a helicopter. The takeoff was nearly vertical. The pilots skillfully used the strong wind as lift. In some ways, firefighting helicopters are even better than planes. For instance, they don't need a large body of water to refill their tanks. That's definitely not what you want to see out of the window during a flight. Few things in the world look as wild as a helicopter doing a backflip. The fighter pilot entertains the audience by creating a dramatic contrail in the sky. This guy doesn't know what fear is. If you dream of flying but can't quite make up your mind, take a cue from this teddy bear. If he can do it, so can you. There's never a boring moment at his job. Firefighting in California isn't just effective, it's also done with style. It looks like this chase is part of an exciting tale. This gadget, which looks like a retro-futuristic toy, is actually a modern drone used as a target for various weapon systems. The B-2 Spirit is a plane that has set numerous records. It was the first heavy aircraft ever built with a flying wing design. It also holds the title of the most expensive aircraft in aviation history, with a single unit costing over $2 billion. Marine helicopters demonstrate the potential of transport aviation. This version of the Sikorsky helicopter can easily carry over 16 tons of cargo on an external sling. The Blue Angels of the US Navy perform synchronized takeoffs and advanced maneuvers. During these flights, the distance between the jets can be less than half a meter,